welcome to Rethink Politics, where we talk about politics, local and international. And I got my co-host here, starting with Trap Shoot Taylor.
I think you mean Jumpsuit Jackson. But what's up?
Jumpsuit Jackson.
I got a new alias. Jumpsuit Jackson or tracksuit something. I just
want to you, huh?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I've you know. All right, hold on. I need a name that starts with T. What starts with T?
Teeth.
No, a name that starts with T.
Mr. T.
No, not Tommy, not like Tony,
Taylor?
but
what you need?
Taylor Swift.
No, name like tracksuit. I'm thinking like tracksuit Tony.
No, tracksuit Taylor.
Travis.
Like trapsuit.
Yeah, tracksuit Travis.
Scratch it. I'm gonna be Jackson. Jumpsuit Jackson.
You asked us.
Tracksuit Tigger.
Tracksuit Tommy.
Tracksuit Trap.
Trapsuit. She said trap. Nah, I'm
T-Bone.
good. I'm good. Tracksuit T.
T-Bone Timothy.
God, no nickname has.
Nobody cool. No nickname has Timothy in it. I'm sorry. So yeah, everything's good. I got some updates that I'm actually gonna do on M3, the other podcast. A little tease right there. So.
M3 Millennial Money Management.
Yeah. Got a lot of updates going on. So
that's for
sure. We'll talk about that. But everything's good.
And Easy Pro Holo. What the fuck?
Yep.
Easy Proly.
Easy probably did it.
Yeah, probably done it. Probably.
Oh, probably.
Possibly.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
You never know.
Okay. I seen on the IG,
I think
Easy shoveled the snow for the whole block.
Yo, my back.
The local black boy. Just.
I didn't even finish. Like I should have done one of them time lapse things. I was like, shoveled like half of it, and then it was like, all right, look, because we got like a steep hill on our driveway. So I gotta get at least the driveway to like one side, or else you try to drive out, you just go slide right back into the. That's another story though, but yeah. So
absolutely.
That northeast life.
First, I want to go to you, Chaz, because you said you wanted to have a quick update.
Yeah. So last time, I forget it's one before, but we talked about the Russian thing, Twitter. I know that's redundant, but Twitter, if you recall, Twitter kicked off a lot of what they believe to be Russian bots. And a lot of people on the right, the conservative side, were saying, well, I'm not a bot, I'm a real person. And you kicked my account off. This is bias or whatever.
Right.
And there's a point made by my coworker, and he was like, they can bitch all they want, but the fact that whatever algorithm or whatever they use to kick off all these bots, if you're tweeting basically similar as a bot, what does that say about you? And I was like, damn, that's a good ass point. Like, if you look at a Russian bot used to troll and used to spread propaganda versus a human being who's just tweeting like just the same thing, I think that kind of raises a good point about the state of affairs on the social media game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I really think about that when you said it, and it was like you're really either following someone that's using fake news or just repeating things that is controversial because a bot took an algorithm and said, this is what people react to. And you're the idiot that actually just mimic all of that. So what does that say about you with an original thought that Twitter and Facebook can pick you up just the same way that normal bots actually come up? That's just pretty fucked up.
Yeah. So I was like, man, I hate that we missed that point. I thought it was such a great point to make that I wanted to mention it kind of at the top of this, just because, I didn't really know how to react to that. On the other side, if it was somebody on the left, like if I was tweeting a bunch of stuff on the liberal side, and there were like liberal trolls and bots, fake Twitter accounts tweeting, and my account was the same as like a liberal bot, I would have to be like, damn, let me try to, you know what I mean? I'll have to have that self reflection. I don't think I'd be like, fuck y'all, fuck Twitter, you know what I mean?
Right. And it'll make you think that, are you really doing the research that you say you think you're doing, or are you just following, what's at the top of the feed and you quoting shit? Because there's people that just read the top feeds and say, that's what I'm going to talk about. It's because it'll make me intelligent because that's the most popular shit.
Yeah, so that was basically what I want to talk about. In terms of, that was my correction from last time. Mike, I didn't know the first thing you want to talk about, but I'm gonna just throw. I am intrigued by this whole Stormy Daniels situation. I didn't expect this to be the fucking
One of
the smoking gun.
Right.
Like fuck Russia, but a porn star. Like god damn, you can't write this shit. You can't make this shit up. Like I don't.
Stormy freaking Daniels. If you don't know who she is, it's a porn star.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, on the older side.
On the old side, yeah. One of the it MILF? No, not MILF. Mature.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's not forget. Trump and old girl, they got together in 06. Right. So at the time, I don't know how old she was then, but she's probably walking in looking all porn starish. He was like, "What's up, baby?"
Yeah.
She was like,
"I'm Trump. I'm a millionaire."
Yeah. She was like, "Ain't you married?" Yeah. It was like, "What ring?" I don't know. And then it happened. 10 years later,
was he with Melania?
He's about to win presidency.
Yeah, she was pregnant. Melania was pregnant.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
So
there's another woman too that came out. Recently, and I think she was a model or a pinup girl or whatever they called them back then. They didn't stream, so it was obviously in a magazine and shit. But this one is kind of crazy because they start talking about the shit way more than they should have. Everybody else, they just called them liars and just left it alone. But this one, what's that dude name? Cohen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Michael Cohen.
The lawyer or not Gary, right? Yes. That's
not Gary.
The lawyer.
That's where we're getting confused. Yeah. Gary and Michael.
Yeah.
Gary was the financial guy, but Michael is the lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. His personal lawyer.
Yeah, the personal. So Michael decides that he's going to tell everybody, she didn't have nothing to do with Trump. I paid her off from my home equity loan. I gave her the money. Yeah, $130,000.
What a dumbass. It's like, it's like I didn't rob a bank. How could I? It's like I already had the money wired to my bank account. I was like, why would you?
Because he's loyal. You know how Trump, he wants his loyal people, man.
No, but it's not even about loyalty. He still publicly acknowledged. The issue is, there's supposed to be a non-disclosure agreement.
Big time.
Hey, don't talk about it, blah, blah, blah. But he's talking about it.
Right.
So how does that? And then Sarah Huckabee Sanders got her ass on TV. She was like, that's some bullshit.
So how could that be?
Because the court agreed in Trump's favor on the matter. So she confirmed the situation.
Oh, yeah. Because it's hush money. And see, that's the problem. He paid all that money for everybody to shut the fuck up. But then
now
everybody's talking about it. It's like that whole money just went out the window. Actually, she probably even, you know what? That's probably a deal, that he got. Because she probably should have said like $1 million. You know what I mean? Like, that. Now looking back at it, she could have got so much more. But yeah, this is all over.
She didn't know he would be in the public eye like this shit. But this idiot, man, he got it from his home equity loan. And you were saying this too. He used the email from Trump's company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the latest on the story. Because again, I've been curious about it because the story keeps gaining traction. It keeps, and I'm like, so they keep. Today it was like they found out he used the official his Trump.org whatever email address, and something else,
from First Republic Bank.
Yes, and the bank, of course, flagged it as suspicious.
Yeah, and there was more. So he apparently created an LLC, and it was a company that he like some random building in like Maryland or Delaware, where
Damn.
the money supposedly it came from. So it looks like the money came from a company, like it was something weird like that. So that's how it can get hidden away, so nobody will find it suspicious. The money just came from some company, and then that's how I think that's actually how it might have even started, where the money came from, because it was suspicious. Right. Apparently, that's a normal tactic that they do. So it's just weird. All of it's just weird, man. And then once you start digging and figuring out what's going on, and it's kind of like you realize how stupid all this is. And
it's because these people got money, and no one's really going to look at it.
Exactly. Everything is about they don't think anyone cares. Nobody. Yeah. That's what all this is.
So ignorance. So to go back, I wanted to go back real quick to the gun, conversation that we had last time. And I'll always stand up and admit when I was wrong. I said, these kids ain't shit gonna happen, bro. They just gonna talk and say, kids, go about your business. But what we find now, and I wanted to get your opinion on that too, vendors start saying, yo, I'm not giving no more NRA discounts. Walmart and Dick's just said, I'm not selling assault rifles no more. And anybody who's going to purchase shit got to be 21 and over.
Yep.
So that type of pressure is like really fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Yep. So that's what needs to happen. Like companies got to put their foot down and like, because it's about the money. Whenever you start threatening the money and you say, look, well, I'm not going to sell these, these guns, because I think even Walmart also came out and said that they didn't say that they wouldn't stop selling it. It was more of I think it was age limit.
Rifles, I think they said they wouldn't. No, they just did the age. You're right.
Yeah, I think they just the age. That's where it starts. It's got there's a process. So I think they just did the 21 years old. Probably going to fill it out and then see how the law goes or whatever. Or they're scared of the NRA. I don't know, but. That's how I feel like it needed to work, man. Like the loudest voices in this whole thing is these kids just speaking out. And I kind of feel like it's been a little quiet maybe a little bit this week.
Last week?
Yeah. It was pretty noisy the last week or so since the shooting, but
It's so that's I'm going back to the Stormy Daniels thing. It's kind of sensational. It's kind of like I don't want to generalize the media just because if I was in their position. Again, I don't know how that works. I never worked in that industry, but it's curious to see, like, okay, 17 people dead. What's the consequence politically and all versus the president popped a porn star.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's curious. Like I totally agree. I think there should be more coverage on, how are these kids dealing with this shit? This mass shooting shit keeps happening, and after that, how many copycat threats and all that shit happened as a consequence?
600.
A lot. It was a lot of threats, and there was actually a shooting at was it Colorado or somewhere? Didn't dude kill his parents or something like that? It was a black dude.
Oh yeah,
you seen that?
Yeah.
The student,
some black dude, and he took off, but I don't know if they found him or not. Because I wasn't watching that one real closely, but
so I'm just saying, I agree. Eric, totally right.
But I think one of the other things too, if you kind of look at it, was Florida actually went back in and got pressured, and they put up a bill, and the bill I think was based on age limits and something else, and the governor is holding it because he's kind of trying to debate, where do I stand in this motherfucker? Do I stand with them or do I turn around and say, fuck that, because the NRA and the gun lobbyists and all of these people in Florida who shoot the gators are constituents and I probably won't be governor again.
Politics.
So your politics. And so he's being cautious, but the local government, the state government was like, we got to put a bill out there because we getting a lot of fucking pressure from these kids. So they actually put a bill out. Didn't pass. And then you starting to hear like some other states are talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there's not much you can really do because like I mean, you got these like Florida. The Florida politicians are mostly Republicans. I mean, it's Rick Scott that you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
the governor. He like they're not going to fight.
He's fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
he's not a fight for. I mean, I hate to say this like this, but I hate to not forget that. But he doesn't really speak for the people in general, because people don't realize that Florida has a lot of Hispanics, has a lot of minorities actually all over Florida. I mean, obviously they have a lot of like traditional religious, older demographic, but I mean, there's a lot of mixed bags in Florida, and like you got the politicians out there just completely far right, and the same as Texas and and Arizona or whatever, but they gotta speak for the people, and they're not, and it's just I hate to say it, but nothing's gonna change unless you just vote them out. So this is really the year where people just need to go out and vote, man, because
Well,
I don't think their voices are being, bruh. It's these are kids saying my friend died.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
no, okay, no. I wanted to use that to kind of.
Yeah.
I wanted just to throw something out. To your point about candidates and voting them out. Fucking Stacey Dash is running.
Yeah.
You seen that shit? She's running in Cali.
That's not gonna work in Cali, but
No.
if she went to
But you see,
yeah.
the point though. The point is, people like her feel empowered to get their ass in politics, and it's like, why? Like, I'm just kind of like, what do you have? What value do you have to bring to the political arena? Like, just stay home and do something
But
else.
they don't have to. Trump won. That's the bar. So
what does
anybody
it
can win.
mean?
So even if they don't, if we say that's the stupidest thing, if she running local government or the congresswoman or whatever in that district, and people are that ignorant, she'll get voted in because we had an idiot that got voted in. So they believe anything is possible. Who would never think about being in politics said, well, if he won, I might as well try this too.
Now, I do want to use this time to clown both of y'all. Y'all hero for future celebrity president is getting caught up, Mark Cuban.
That's not me. That's not me though. That's not me though.
Y'all seen that, right? The assault. Now they
Not
put the
him.
assault claims on.
His coworker dude. Is it him?
No, I think it's him, bro.
Okay. Search. Okay, somebody who got internet. Search. Boom. Mark Cuban assault or
I don't think I.
here.
I think
I'm doing it too.
Will Smith or something like that. I don't think that was a Mark Cuban. I think
woman accuses Mark Cuban of sexual assault at nightclub.
Cuban get kicked out of club.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe it.
2011.
I bet he has so much more because he's kind of wild on it. Like,
he's a little wild.
By that.
He talks shit, and yeah.
So what? He think so?
Nah.
If he runs for president, it'll be like 20 women who just come out of the woodwork. I was on Shark Tank, and he said, "You want me to invest? I gotta put my hand. You know what I'm saying? I gotta steal on you or some shit.
You gotta sign a non-disclosure."
Yeah, sign here. But this is mine. It ain't gonna be my lawyer's. God damn it.
That's terrible. So I just to E's point about like voting people out and just equality, Stacey Dash is kind of like that class of politician, it just won't go away. And then the people who like Mark Cuban would have been exciting to a lot of people who like Shark Tank and all that shit.
Negotiator,
But
you know what I mean?
that shit looks like it's fading, like low key. I don't know what's gonna happen long term if he gets exonerated, but getting accused is just as bad as getting guilty.
Unless you're the president. So, jumping into this surprising thing, the Korean negotiation. With shotgun.
Korea. Yeah.
So I told you, I think we talked about this one of the podcasts too, that the negotiation really was going on with South Korea and China. And until they got settled and say, okay, we're good, we got your back, now we can bring the Americans in. What's that?
So you know what it is? The analogy is like the Crips and the Bloods are beefing, and like aren't the police like the United States is supposed to be the police,
Not
but the
this year.
police is on some
Not in this
police
term.
brutality
Yeah.
shit. So, but I'm just saying. So like the Crips and the Bloods got together and say, "All right, we good," and then they come to the community and it's like, "All right, we're gonna have peace." Like y'all didn't. The police didn't do nothing. They
This
already
is more
decided
like the Crips
themselves.
talk to
You know what I'm
the
saying?
Bloods, and then the Crips was talking to the police, and then the police was like, "All right, I'll talk to the Bloods." You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't this. It's a weird kind of like. I don't even feel like the U.S. even knew this was coming. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
I think they was trying to say we're not going to do anything, and then they was like, "Look, we already negotiated with our sister country.
mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk?"
Yeah.
And it looks stupid if they all agree that, yeah, we'll negotiate and we'll do whatever it takes. But if you say no, then we know it's all you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know you ain't shit.
Yeah, we know you ain't shit.
Yeah.
But we want to prove it this time. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's some petty. Yeah, it's a little. Yeah,
Maybe, I don't disagree with that, but it feels more like I'm just going to be honest. I feel like more like South Korea is the one that's actually playing as the mediator. They're the ones that actually want to like make things more peaceful, and for obvious reasons. I mean, that's their
Oh, yeah.
neighbor.
that's their
Yep.
their interests.
They did
They
the
have a
whole
very
they did the whole thing with the Olympics, the Winter Olympics,
Mhm.
and they literally like physically became teammates. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's just athletics or whatever, but and then they're like, oh, I think that kind of started the whole conversation, and then that made it easier to have the peace talks. And then it
Mhm.
was like, I mean, that they were probably like, oh, by the way, how about we cool things off
Do some
with
shit.
the U.S.
Yeah.
Because people keep forgetting that North Korea, the biggest thing they hate is that whole joint military exercise that they do over and over again. Twice a year or something like that. Like North Korea hates that shit. So
Because it's all
one
in
of
their
the
face. They throwing it in their face.
yeah,
It's like, we'll bust your ass.
yeah,
Oh,
and they're
shit.
doing it like
We'll
right
bust
by
your
them.
motherfucking ass.
It's like having like Muscle Beach or something, and you just showing off and they don't like that shit. They're like,
Yeah.
I know y'all stronger than us. I don't give a fuck,
Yeah.
but they
I
don't
got some
like that
shit
though.
too, But yeah, so and I think China was like, look, we got your back financially, and I
Yeah.
think y'all can be a bigger, stronger negotiating country if
Mhm.
y'all just work together. But South Korea, you have to show the world that you're leading this because you're right next door. You don't want them dropping bombs on you or around you.
Oh, you think
Really?
China talked to him? You
Yeah.
think China talked to South Korea?
Yeah. I
Well,
think they did the negotiation behind doors without taking the credit.
I
China's
mean,
fucking smart, dude. They trying to run
yeah,
the world.
I would say, yeah. I mean, in terms of them and their superpower rise, that would what they don't need is war. You know what I mean? Like, it's basically China versus India. We talked about this too, and if China can keep that edge, and it's like, well, shit, why not? I mean, why what? I mean, they they can definitely if they do everything right, it's basically going to be the United States, China, kind of less powered Russia, and Europe at the table. And then, I mean, they're going to be at the top of the game.
Mm.
So just looking at this whole situation is just the only thing I feel kind of weird about is at this point, the fear going forward is where does the United States fit? Does the United States really fit? Or is that,
That's the
did
question.
China fill that vacuum permanently? Not permanently, but over the next 10, 20 years.
So if I was China negotiating between North Carolina, North Korea and South Korea, I was like, man, get the United States out of here. We'll help you with your border between there. The DMZ, let's change that into a friendly border actual access so we can actually start doing free trade. You don't need the United States here anymore. And China can
Yeah.
actually fill that fucking void.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Honestly, China could just go in and be like, hey, South Korea, look, forget the US. I know that's your ally and everything, but we can give you everything that they're giving you, and we right next door.
And
If they
more.
wanted to.
So coming in like a new dope boy.
Yeah.
I know so
I
and
got
so
that
is selling it
hotness.
for
Fuck that bullshit. Try some of this.
I'm selling it for you got 20. You got it. Damn, they're selling it for 25.
And I'm right
got
across
it for 20.
I'm right across the street and shit.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I don't know.
So,
it's fucked up. I don't know what to say.
We just go from there. So let's talk about your boy Gary Cohn. Yeah,
he got his ass up out of there.
And the reason was the fucking metal tariffs. And he was saying,
you think that's what it was? I'm
dude.
like, come on.
So let's go back on the Charlottesville, because this dude is Jewish. He was kind of saying, look, here's my resignation. Dude, if you really believe that there ain't nothing wrong with these fucking neo-Nazis, I am out of here. And he talked it through with him, and he was like, look, this is some bullshit. They was like, come on, man, don't leave. So he didn't resign. But he was saying, this is stupid. Don't do this. It's a really bad move. And he was like, I'm the president. I fuck a porn star. Look at it.
I'm not gonna lie, this shit came out of nowhere though, because Hope Hicks had resigned or something. Russia was in the news.
Oh yeah,
it was like trade tariffs. It's like, wait, what?
So, do you think that was a distraction?
Why?
That he was like, look, I gotta pull up something. There's too much shit going on. The Russian shit going on. Oh, and god damn it, the Russians showed the world, hey, look at these rockets that I can blow up the fucking United States. What the fuck was that?
That's talking shit.
I think it was aimed at. I kept reading that it was aimed at China. It was supposed to be aimed at them so that because they're messing up the trading. I'll be honest with you. I don't know too much about how the trading works and international trade, but it was supposed to aim at them so that they can lower, because they're lowering the price of steel throughout the world internationally, and they're like manipulating how they're producing steel, everywhere, how they're trading across the world. So then raising the price or adding a tariff to the steel that the US is producing makes everyone else have to pay more. The consumers have to pay more, and it doesn't really make sense to people, because what happens is all these other countries have to pay more in order to get steel from the US, and it doesn't make sense, because then all of a sudden, you're gonna have people come back and be like, well, look, because what's the other story, that the UN now is threatening to what do you call it? They were gonna raise the price on orange juice. And
what?
And I forget what the other one was. It was something. It was interesting. It was smart. It was something done. It was like aimed at like Corvettes or something. It was aimed at like it was directed at
Corvettes and orange juice. These niggas are anti-American.
But they were coming back like, look, if you do this and you sign this bill, we're gonna release our own tariffs against these particular list of different deals or whatever it is that they're creating, and it's a trade war.
That's
how it started. The type of stuff
midlife crisis,
like middle-aged white men type stuff, is what I'm saying. Like it was, I gotta look.
That's what I'm saying. How can you have a midlife crisis? You can't get calcium or drive a Corvette.
And my Rogaine, I can't go fucking get that shit and get my plugs done.
Yeah, you're gonna say I can't buy man cave furniture?
Yeah. So
tariffs on that too?
This tariff shit, it kind of blew me, because I was trying to figure out, is he doing this as a distraction? But he kind of said he was going to fight against trade wars of like what China's doing and what they've done to us over the past couple of years, us having to deal with them, and we're losing jobs because they're, to your point, their aluminum and steel and all of that is being priced down all over the world, and say, hey, you can get it cheap.
But
I got to mention this real quick while we're on the topic real quick. So the UN is chewing. They're gonna put tariffs on T-shirts, chewing tobacco, cranberries, orange juice,
cranberries.
bed
to
linen.
humanity.
So the South.
Yeah, right.
The South.
Among other products is what I'm looking at right now,
South.
but I want to know what that list is. The rest of that list. I read that it was completely aimed at like certain politicians and where they're located.
So, Mike, you was talking about how the aluminum in China. I think by now we've all seen Dave Chappelle's special, the new one released. Yeah, he had a bit about the jobs and all that. And I'm kind of like, yeah, it's just like, look, if we're losing jobs and they're gonna come back, what kind of jobs will come back, and do we, again, we talked about this with the Midwest, like what is the trade war gonna help? Who's gonna help, and how do you quantify, and what are the metrics for the help? You know what I mean? Like, hey, you can be a fucking mill worker, like what?
Yeah, right. Once again, like those jobs are coming back,
Yeah, it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of like, realistically, besides me paying more for XYZ or new home construction, cars, like as a consumer, like is the idea that, okay, I'll be paying more, but we'll have more jobs and that'll help the economy overall?
I mean, it doesn't make sense because it's, it's about steel and like, I think it's actually aluminum too.
Hey, aluminum foil gonna cost like $10 a roll
now.
I
don't get it because it's supposed to bring back jobs that aren't really like there in the country. So I don't think that.
So if you selling, let me give you an example, because if you down in the Caribbean, they have tropical fruits and all of that shit, but it costs them so much more to maintain fruit in the area that when China and all of these exports come in, their bananas and tropical fruit cost less than the ones that they have there. They can't live off the fruit that's on the island. So that's what's China doing all around the world. But when we try to sell shit in China, they charge us. So it's kind of like, yo, that's some bullshit. But except for just saying, tomorrow I'm going to do some tariffs. The first thing you should be doing is, look, this shit's going to be equal. How are we going to work through this? But he didn't want to do that. He wanted to say, I'm going to show you the negotiation. We're going to put fucking tariffs on you. It was like, but it's not just China you doing that to.
Yeah,
bitch.
That doesn't make sense. See, I've always had the mindset, and maybe you guys can even like correct me if I'm wrong the way I think about this. I never understood the idea of people raising prices whenever there's a demand. So, all right, let me explain what I'm saying. So, I'm gonna tell you a little story real quick. I'll make it quick. So when I was in high school, I made CDs, right? So back when you had like little CD burners, you put music on it or whatever. People want, they want the hot Ja Rule, they want the hot, Bad Boys, whatever was out. And I put little CDs together because a lot of people didn't have CD burners. But everybody was out there charging like $7, $8, some even $10 just for a CD, with the whole case and everything, because that cost, a grip back then too. But then, I charged, depending on like a number of tracks, $3 or maybe $5 per CD, because I had stacks of just blank CDs. And people were coming to me like nonstop, just, because Eric had the cheaper, rate, the cheaper price. And people were coming to me. They weren't going to the $10 dude. They were coming to the $3 to $5 dude. And, my business was better. Now, the only difference is obviously I'm just one person versus a country like China. Its population is the highest in the world. Then you have the manpower to do that kind of work. But you can make the argument that, just to bring it back to what we're talking about, the United States has the manpower to do that too, but that's what he's trying to create. He's trying to create that manpower. But that's where I'm lost, because I'm like, you're raising the price. People aren't going to come to us if you're raising the price. Why don't you lower the price, and then people come to the U.S., and then we have jobs, and then that's where you end up making money. But I know it doesn't make sense to lower the price, because the whole Republican mindset, I'm probably blowing everybody's mind right now, but my idea is, if you want business, you need to attract business. So why is his mindset based on, let me raise the price, because I know what I make is great and no one else is better. So they're going to want more. It's like, that's not how this works. Everyone else makes the exact same damn thing. How in the world are you going to just make the assumption that they're going to come even though they have other options? So you guys got to help me out with that because I don't get that shit at all.
I got you.
Yeah.
So if you put a tariff on the price of something coming in, it's going to cost us more, right? But if it costs us more and the tariffs that you put on there raise that price to about 3 to 5 cents more, now you make it equal that when I start producing it, I'm producing it for the same amount because the tariff evened out the cost. So now you be like, now we got American aluminum cans that does this. Buy American. You're not going to buy the imported stuff. We're giving the jobs to the people because of the tariffs that raise that price on that side equals the side that's being made here. So now it's equal, even though we're charging them to bring it in, which raises the price. Now China could say, you know what? We got 1 billion motherfuckers making these cans. Okay, you put the tariffs on it, but I'm going to reduce mine because now we're not going to pay them for 12 hours. We only going to pay our people for 11 hours, which cuts our costs. So now we're going to cut the cans down again, but we're not going to lose. Your motherfuckers going to lose because you got to pay people $15 or better because you're America, but we're China because we can lower our price and still kick your ass. Now, what you're going to have to do is keep having these tariffs go up and up and up. But then what you don't realize is when you getting shit from overseas, now those German chocolate or these French coffees, it's going to be like $15 fucking for. Do you want that? People are going to be like, look what the fuck you just did. So that's that kind of mentality to say, if I even the price structure and we start producing it, we'll at least produce at an equal level.
If we start producing, right.
But the intent is for us to go back to producing. So that's why he said, now we can make our own cans for our beer, or now we can make our own stuff because now it's equal.
Yeah.
Yeah. E, when you asked the question, my immediate thought was, do you really think there's a firm grasp of supply or demand side economics? Like it's just simple, economics at that point. Like just what happens if you raise the price? Terms like, is it elastic or is it inelastic?
Yeah.
He said, I just wasted my time explaining some shit that he doesn't
There's
really
too many
realize.
layers. You're right. Too much reflection. He don't look at himself. My shit's good. End of story. Wow.
Yeah, just get that motherfucker on Khan Academy. Get him in there with here's what you do. You have him give a speech at the high school and then be like, hey, stick around, It just so happened, or, college, whatever, just so happened to be on, and now some trade economics. I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you got to plant the seed that way.
Yeah.
You can't teach. You got to be like, oh, we love you, Trump. Oh, by the way, we're also talking about economics. You should stick around.
Like, nope, gotta go.
You know what's funny when you said that just now? I was thinking they had that town hall with the kids at the high school about the whole gun control. That's the perfect scenario where Trump needs to be sitting right there and he needs to be answering all these fucking questions. I mean, give me a topic. Let's just say we're talking economics or trade war. I don't know, whatever the fuck they're talking about. But that's what he needs. He needs to be like unscripted. I guess he kind of did that, right? Right after the whole gun control thing. But then he had the note cards.
But he had a card.
He didn't know what to say.
Yeah, I care for you.
I care for you.
Question. I hear you.
Up when you talk to them,
The motherfucker had lyrics from a 80s pop song or some shit.
Remember the smile.
No. Remember the
smile.
Eye contact.
Yeah,
I feel your pain. Some shit.
Yeah.
Fucking crib notes. That was fucking ridiculous. But it wasn't ridiculous because of the person who we talking about. I mean, it's just continuous. That's some shit that you would say Bush would have done. But then you see that Bush wouldn't have been done that shit. Bush would have said,
Yeah.
you know what? Come over here and let's have a beer together.
Yeah, he would have said some shit about evildoers and, you
I mean,
know, Americans, my fellow
if you look back
Americans,
at Bush, though, Bush
going to the
wouldn't.
ranch.
He wasn't as bad as we thought he was at the time. I mean, he wasn't that great of a president. Let's be honest.
No, he wasn't.
But
Don't get it twisted. He
Trump
really
is
wasn't.
just lowering the like. There is no bar as low as Trump. I mean, I don't know about the fucking early 1800s and shit, but
Yeah, I can't
right.
But he's
what?
like straight Caribbean. What is that shit that you go underneath? The mumbo or whatever that bitch.
What is it? Do the Lambo? What is it? Do the
Are you guys talking about the bar and you got to get under the bar?
Yeah. What's the shit called?
Limbo. Yeah, there you go. That shit is like on the floor. That's just don't even bother. Just step over that bitch. That's how bad we are.
I don't think since last time we recorded, Hope Hicks resigned.
Resigned.
What's your take?
So, do you know why she resigned?
She got caught up too with this whole Russian thing, talking about she lies. She sometimes tells lies. Like, why these people?
Sometimes she tells white lies. Yeah, so she talked to Mueller and she said that shit. Then she was like, "Oh shit, I'm out of here."
Yeah, and you know what? An article I read said being in that environment basically can turn people close to Trump into witnesses. So, it's kind of dangerous because you can be the fucking mailman and be like, "Did you observe this behavior?" And it's like, now all of a sudden you're in the Miller investigation getting interviewed.
You're a fucking witness.
And it's kind of like
he go to the house and say, "Could you sign for this?" And he has on like a black mask with a ball in his mouth, and there's two senators in the back. And he was like, and they were like, "Did you see him?" Oh shit! Now I'm involved.
Signed
it.
And also, what happened? Trump allegedly questioned people who got questioned by Mueller. So let's say people came from, hey, the Mueller thing. It's like, hey, so how did it go? And folks is like, bruh, it looks like you're obstructing justice again.
Again.
So again. For the third time. Third time's a charm, I guess.
He don't care. Yep. First of all, let me just jump in real quick and say that with our predictions that I told you so, that this was going to happen, that these people were going to start bowing out. You got the 1 year, at the annual, whatever it is, they got their 12 months in, 13, 14, whatever. And they're like, I can leave now without a problem. Like, it just looks normal.
Talking about the resume builder?
They got the White House. They don't say Trump administration. They just say White House. But
it says White House. You're right.
They hop on Fox or whatever conservative outlet. I don't know what Gary Cohn's going to do.
So Gary Cohn, he's a financial analyst. So he was like, I've been doing this shit anyway. So I'm just going to say I'm better than this fucking White House. So I can help you. Hook me up.
I'm better than this.
Yeah. So
he was supposed to be the one that was supposed to help us, like, because he's a Democrat. I don't know if people realize that, but he don't really. I don't know. I don't see him doing much of anything while he was in the White House. So, and I'm trying to figure out why it took this for him to leave.
So he was part of the tax thing. So he was part of building that, and that shit went through. So he's pretty smart to get that. I don't see a lot of it wasn't a problem. It was just to get these people to sign on, which means Congress-wise. I think anybody could have done it if you would have got them, if you had a majority that said, it doesn't matter, we're going to be able to push it through. He just had the concept and say, let's get a win. This is the easiest win. We can get people a couple of $100 on their check. Our business that I work for said, okay, all that tax break, we're going to give a portion back to the employees. Smart, right? Next year, they're going to get it again. And guess what? They're not going to give it to the employees because they said, oh, that was a one-time thing, motherfucker. It's my money this year. So, but if they look like heroes for this year, it's money that they wasn't going to have anyway. So those taxes, I would have paid it to the government, but now I look like a straight hero. I'm taking care of my employees, people loving me. Now I'm going to have you work 50 hours a week. But I'm not paying you overtime because remember, I gave you these bonuses. God damn it.
Yeah.
Commit. But, we got good companies that says, you know what? This is a good opportunity to thank my employees.
And it's a good opportunity to buy back stocks. So your investment is a whole other side to it.
So that's what he did. And he was trying to do some trade things. But this idiot once again said, I'm smarter than y'all. And this is what I promised the people. So I need to get people to pat me on the back and make me feel like I'm the president again. So he did this tariff bullshit.
He's the president.
You think it's so you think it's a smoke screen, like try to like.
So
I don't know. Look, I've never been sued by a porn star, so I don't know what that makes you do. I haven't been the subject of a federal investigation, so I can only imagine both at the same time, and people talking shit about you on TV. Yeah. Maybe I would want to start a trade war too. Yeah. Why not? Have my son-in-law, who's not qualified in the White House, getting his
his secret clearance dropped off, and they took away his bulletproof vest. And,
I'm waiting for him.
They gave him a whistle and a flashlight.
Yeah, they tell him to leave the room now.
Top flight, motherfucker. Top flight.
They talk about some serious shit. And they're like, look, all right, I need you to step outside the door as we talk. I think he's next, man. I mean, I know I keep saying that for like a couple months now, but it's just overdue now.
And I don't think he has anywhere to go though. Because who the fuck is he?
He's next to resign or Mueller investigation?
Resign. Because I think Mueller already told him, hey, by the way, we're coming back for you. So as long as you're working up there, we're coming back. And we're going to start stripping shit all around you. We're going to strip your wife from you. We're going to strip your clearance. And if you do some fucked up shit, we're going to take your kids too. So we're coming back. So go back to work.
Okay, here's my last headline I want to talk about is the other side of Stormy Daniels or these allegations. How should Melania play it? Because to me that's a tough position to be in.
So it's a money deal for her. I think she's committed to. If she does anything, I think she loses everything. Unless she, which I don't know how smart she is, unless she does a side deal, and if she leaves him, there's enough money that the lawyer or people who's supporting her, because you know how big of a champion she'll be if she said, I'm done with this man, I'm leaving him. Like,
and my book deal is coming. Yeah, exactly. I got a book deal and a Netflix special.
Yep. We just sit in the Netflix.
Netflix will pay like $100 million a year the way they doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like shit. Who wouldn't tune in to? Oh shit, Melania on Netflix.
She's telling that shit. Some pictures she'll be naked, and then the other pictures she talking about his ass. So she plays it both ways. So in that sense, I would think for her integrity and her, that's very insulting for her to live through that shit. And you can tell that she's not happy with none of this shit. You can just see it. But
I mean, I'm not, because I don't like to project myself on anything. So, I don't want to make any assumptions. So I'm just thinking, how, on the other side, if you was in that, how would you do it? You know what I'm saying? Like how, like if you had a daughter or, somebody in that situation, how would you want them to do it?
Get the fuck on.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Unless you're a whore and you just want to get that money, then you deserve that shit. You know what I mean? But everything that she's trying to, when he was traveling, she was like, no, I'm not fucking traveling with him. I'll meet you there. She didn't want to travel with him. There's instances that he keeps trying to touch her hand, and you see her physically go, get your fucking hands off me, dude.
You know what's funny is that
she wearing sunglasses, looking at him like, man, I fucking can't stand you.
At the inauguration, I remember that video. He looked back and smiled, and then she smiled, and he looked away, and she just made straight face, like, fucking idiot. fuck out of here.
Oh.
Like quick. Like, yeah.
Like his body. His body has to be awful. It has to be just a bad situation.
I feel like it was one thing when they first got together, and it was a money thing. You know what I mean? Like he's a millionaire. It had nothing to do with any kind of politician. The world hates me kind of thing. It's like it's just a millionaire, celebrity. You know, he owns shit, exactly. And then therefore, if I marry him, I own that shit too. But now it's just like, okay, I don't own the United States. It's like, he's losing money right now because his brand is getting killed right now. That's a whole nother topic. I don't know why the media is not covering that, but that's a whole nother discussion. But I think the minute she had, I don't know the son's name, as soon as she had Aaron, the son or whatever, Trump's son, it's just Barron, yeah, right.
Barron?
So to me, I'm just kind of thinking like, she doesn't really have much to gain other than leaving him because he's old. I know they ain't fucking. Like, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what she's saying right now. I don't feel like she cares about like her having power. I think she likes power. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know if she sees that in the way he's getting destroyed. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I think a book deal would be phenomenal. Just because who else could? I don't know. I'm just saying, how much in terms of her doing in terms of her profiting from her current situation and just waiting it out. What other payday or windfall would be bigger than just a tell-all book?
Yeah, and go on a world tour. Go to Germany and say that they'll fucking greet her. Go to fucking Africa.
Yeah, well, she's European.
Yeah. She can go anywhere.
She's like Eastern
I think
European.
she actually loves him, though. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm getting on deep.
No, I don't.
No, I do. I feel like the dumb love. Like she got a kid. You know what I mean? Like she feels like that's the way it's supposed to be and hadn't figured it out yet. That
Boy,
she's like what, almost 40 or 50?
No, I'm just saying. Like, I'm just trying to be a little bit realistic. Like she'd actually kind of thought that he was like something.
Okay, let's go with let's test your optimism. Look, because I'm not optimistic about the guy retiring, the Supreme Court dude. So Trump is gonna have another Supreme Court pick. What's Anthony? Kennedy?
Kennedy.
Somebody. The dude who's like 80, 81. He's retiring in the summer of 18.
Really? I didn't know
he's gonna be another Trump pick. Yeah. Nah, he just announced it. It was like, you know what?
Damn.
Sick of this shit. He didn't say that, but you know what he said.
But he said that shit, yeah. So the Playmate girl, the Playboy Playmate, her name is Karen McDougal. She's the 1998 Playmate of the Year.
Was a
He
Playmate?
was fucking her during the same time that he was fucking a porn star.
Oh, for real? In 06?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he was busy in 06.
So he was wilding out during that time and shit.
Yeah, he was skiing everywhere, yeah.
See, McDougal had $150,000, but Clifford, she got $130,000. So the Playmate was straight like a motherfucker. Yeah, she got $150,000.
Isn't that a story? Shouldn't they be saying $280,000?
It said it included $150,000 payment to McDougal from American Media Inc., publisher of the National Enquirer, which never printed her story about Trump.
Well, she's gonna learn how to negotiate next time.
Yep. Gotta get your money together. Get those zeros right.
I think the media just they're not covering the stories the way they need to be.
Yeah, so there's pressure on all ends, and they trying to get into the White House for the serious shit, but they don't want to cover the bullshit because it's kind of like, if you do that, we're not letting you in, and you'd be like, but this shows the integrity of the White House. We don't care. Get the fuck out of here. So that's how we do fast shit around here, but but those are the highlights, bro. And I don't think we even touched every damn thing because it is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous the times that we're living in right now. But
I mean,
it's like opposite of Obama.
We could
like
talk about
bizarro
change.
EPA chief.
It's just
I forget his name. Paying all that money for the plane or for the flights of traveling, and then the HUD dude, I forget his name, paying Ben Carson, the $31,000 a meeting table, conference room table or something, and then
Ben
a $5,000
Carson furniture
chair. Yeah, they just bunch of his Trump's people just
for the
killing,
table.
like just
must be a nice ass table. Like God damn.
They're just destroying our money, bro. Like from the top down, man.
Yeah, it's a. All they do is print it. They was like, "Yo, go down there and print you some money. Hey, there's some nice desks that we can."
Oh, and take the private flight too with your family.
Yeah, take the private jet.
$3 million.
Like, if you don't tell those motherfuckers to go to IKEA or fly coach, it's like, man, let me be in government, man.
Use the app Handy and get somebody to put it together for you and shit, and you're good.
Yeah, get you some interns. Like shit, run this government, baby. $2 out of time.
See, I know what they're doing. They're just the millionaires, or billionaires, and I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you guys have been to a few government buildings, but I've been to a few in DC, and no, everything is old. Like it just looks like an old school, like middle school, no windows. Everything is old. And it's almost on purpose because they don't want to spend that much money unless you're like you have to get a whole new building in order to get anything nice. Like the EPA building, they have a new one in Arlington that they built probably like 5-6 years ago. I probably got that all wrong. But it looks nice. Like it's that's what it takes.
It's modern.
You can't just get an old building and then HUD and then all of a sudden you just make a $500,000 renovation. Like that's just not how it works. You got to work with what you got. But that's the government, man. You can't just have that millionaire mentality and then try to make it your own. So yeah.
Especially if you ain't doing
that's
shit.
That's a whole nother story.
But that's a whole nother story. So, nigga, what meeting table you need for it? Ain't no meetings.
So thanks a lot, fellas. We're gonna cut this one short.
Yep.
I was gonna say the other show. Watch our Millennial Money Management. We have a good show on that on our finances. So tune in for that.
Wait for it. Got a lot of upcoming change. Got some stuff in the pipe.
We got some stuff in the pipe for you.
Like I think it's gonna be a one of three. I think we're gonna do a 3 episodes of the same theme.
Mm-hmm. Extending it,
that's gonna be really fun. So y'all
look out for that. We're doing a couple of interviews on some DJs. Got a Caribbean DJ who's doing production now. That's coming up on Car Wax. And we're just doing a whole lot of good stuff. So
I DJ'd my party last weekend, so I gotta check that out.
Yeah, so he's pretty good, old school, but he really starting to do some production now. So I did an interview with him, and it's gonna be on video too. I'm gonna have it on YouTube, so look out for that. It's kind of really interesting.
Oh,
sure. Other than that, Rethink Politics. We're gonna keep up with this. I really appreciate it, fellas. Kind of a little more consistent. I like it because there's just so much entertaining bullshit in our government, and you just never know what's gonna come up. I'm waiting for Mueller to drop the bomb and say, "Yep, I want to get everything perfect." And now that I got the perfect shit, his ass is going down.
That Funk Master Flex bomb.
Yup.
You gotta put that in.
Oh damn, man.
Put the stank on that ass. So. But thank you very much, and we'll see you next time on Rethinks Politics. See ya.
Yes, sir.